Okay, so can I vent to you guys for a second? Can I complain to you about the evils of the world? Um, so I mean, before I get into that, like positive moment, I just talked to the store manager at 7-Eleven, and maybe that'll be a thing. I don't know. By the time I post this, it'll be January, so who knows how things transpired? I don't know. But before that moment, I was trying to get in contact with my counselor slash ex counselor, and to me, I don't know, maybe life is maybe she's going through it. I don't know, maybe she just can't answer the phone. But it seems to me like she's ignoring me, and I'm like, why? That's weird. Especially when you're supposed to be my counselor, and you like kind of know that I don't like being ignored, and you see what happens when I feel like I'm being ignored, and like. And like obviously there's no excuse for my behavior, like, because I did say some choice words. I did call her out of her name a little bit, but then I did apologize, mostly to placate, mostly so that she can call me back, because I'm trying to freaking get a new counselor, and she told me that I would get a call Monday. It is now Wednesday as I'm recording this, and yeah, like once again, I did use some choice words, but it's just like, to me, it's kind of obvious, like, that's what she wants. She wants me to be upset. She wants me to be, like, hooked on her. And I think it's so weird. It's so disgusting. It's just like, do you have no morals? You not have no, like, you know what I mean? Like, this person has a family. This person has children that I've, like, you know what I mean? Like, said nice words about. And it's just like, who are you? Who is this person? You know what I mean? Like, it's that sort of energy of like, what the fuck? And like, I'm not necessarily surprised, but like, maybe I am, because I'm like, and I'm saying I'm not surprised because I know that the mental health field is like already corrupted. Like, the world is corrupted at large, obviously. But you would like to believe that maybe not everybody is fucked up, right? But I don't know, man, because it's just like, she saw me get angry, like she saw me get angry about like a trigger, and it's just like, it seems like she's trying to trigger me, like she's trying to make me upset. Once again, she told me I would get a call Monday. It's Wednesday. I didn't even say anything Monday. I just kind of let the day pass, and then I waited Tuesday, and I was like, hey, I didn't get a call. What's up? Toward the end of the day, towards the end of the work day. It wasn't like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. But like towards the end of the work day, I was like, I didn't get a call. What's up? And then I tried calling her. She didn't call me back. It's Wednesday. Her phone's on. I texted her. I called her a lot of times, at least like 10 times maybe. I don't know how many times I called her, but like, you know, and like, maybe this is necessary for me. Maybe this is a chance for me to like strengthen my, you know what I mean? Because like, I do get triggered. I get angry, and I'm like, that's not good. You know what I mean? Like, at least the way that I get angry, like, I think there's a lot to be said about self-control, you know, and like, you can't really see how bad things can get until they get bad. You know what I mean? Like, I've said this before, like, you don't know how much progress you've made. You don't know how strong you are until you're tested, until you're like pushed to your limits. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like this is one of those moments, because it's like, you're supposed to be on my team, you're supposed to be helping me. And once again, I'm not surprised, because I feel like this is just the pattern of my life at this point. Like, people coming into my life supposed to be helping me, and then just completely fumbling, or just being negligent, or just being disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's just, it really grinds my gears, like, you know? And then it's like, on top of that, because you're a mental health professional, like, you're supposed to be able to de-escalate, you're supposed to be able to empathize, and you know what I mean? I honestly don't think that this person has any fucking empathy. Like, and that's not a judgment call. That's not me being that's not an insult, because people will hear that and be like, why are you attacking her? If me pointing out a truth is an attack to you, maybe you should consider like, I don't know, like, because I reflect constantly, so to me it's difficult to wrap my head around the idea of somebody hearing an unpleasant truth, and just, instead of like trying to work with that, like doubling down and being aggressive. I can't imagine that. But like, a lot of people fucking do that. A lot of people will be like, you called me mean, you called me inconsiderate, that's fucking rude. And it's like, okay, well then maybe don't be inconsiderate, bitch. What the fuck? And then I wouldn't have to call you inconsiderate. Crazy concept. I know, but like that's how that should go. Like, what? Like, and obviously there are situations where maybe it's a perception thing. It's like I'm just not perceiving the situation correctly. But like, if somebody's calling you out on something, I can't even say that because I'm a unique character. If I'm calling you out on something, it's because I want you to be better, you know? But other people will call out things just to kind of point things out and just to be annoying, just to like tear someone down. So I get it how somebody could misperceive me calling something out. But like, I don't know, man. People are nasty. People are vile. I think it was because when we talked on the phone, last time we talked on the phone, because of like how she was deflecting so hard, it was just very obvious to me how she is lacking in maturity. And once again, these are not attacks. Like, I fucking hate that the idea of me saying these things are supposed to be insults. Like, it's not a fucking insult to point out a fucking truth. Like, unless the truth is you're fucking a butt ugly. Like, there's not a fucking insult. It's just a fucking truth, bitch. And if you can't handle the truth, I'm sorry, that's on you, bitch. Like, that shit to do with me. What the fuck? This is gonna sound a little bit fucked up, but she told me she got into a car accident. Like, her car got totaled. Like a day. Like, I think I mentioned it in the last video that I talked about her, or one of the videos I talked about her. She told me that her car got totaled the day that I had like my job interviews. And this is gonna sound really fucked up, but I really personally believe that she probably deserved it. You know what I mean? Because like, what are the chances, what are the odds that I reach out to you about job interviews and ask for some sort of support, you don't give me that support, and the same day your car gets totaled? And now I'm assuming that it got totaled before that moment, but who knows, because she didn't tell me anything the day of. And I also have noticed that this person is not the most honest person, you know? Like, I think it's because she's purposely trying to be dishonest. I think it's just because she doesn't have a clear grip on like honesty within herself, you know? Because like, I think there's a big difference between somebody who is actively lying to other people and then somebody who's lying to themselves. Like, there's a clear difference, you know, because the person who's lying to themselves, they will believe their own lies. You know what I mean? They will believe in what they're telling you. But someone who is just lying to other people, there's a tiny bit of space, there's a tiny bit of room for them to like recognize what the actual truth is. But for the sake of appearances, they're not going to engage with that truth, obviously, because they're trying to keep up a facade. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not even my place to read this person like that. But like, once again, you're supposed to be my counselor. You're supposed to be helpful to me. You know, I think in that regard, like, you know, and then that's also something that I get upset about, because I'm like, I was looking into the idea of highly sensitive people yesterday, because I know that I am, and I was looking into that, and one of the things about it is that like, these sorts of people, like people who are more extra sensitive, like need to be around people that they can trust. Just point blank period. Because otherwise you're just constantly reading the room, you're constantly reading into what people say, constantly trying to protect your energy, and that's exhausting. It's like, sure, you could get things done, but in the grand scheme of it, what can you really get done when you're constantly trying to protect yourself, constantly trying to make sure that you're safe, you know? And honestly, I think to some degree that's kind of how it's supposed to be in regards to like how people want things to be run, you know, because it's like, if everybody's safe, if everybody feels comfortable, then there's kind of way too much space for people to be innovative, for people to be progressive and, you know, revolutionary and stuff. And of course, the people at the top, they don't want that. They don't want just anybody to have grand ideas and to have, you know what I mean? They want to reserve that for like a select few, you know? And I think it's really crazy. It's really ridiculous, the world that we live in, you know? And like, I could complain, I could just vent about it, but like, obviously there are things to do about it, you know what I mean? I mean, I don't know for me. I'm just saying in general. Like, there's definitely things we can do about it. But, you know, I'm gonna end this here because I don't know how much. I just deleted like hours of content yesterday, so maybe I have more than enough time. I don't know, but the reflex is like to just end this at a certain time because I don't know how much time I have. But yeah, closing message, I guess. Keep your head up, keep your spirits high. Know that everything is temporary. God loves you, and it'll be okay, man. Just like fucking trust in that, believe in that, believe that things can get better, you know. And if not, let's just wait for the sweet relief of death. Hopefully later rather than sooner. Awesome. All right, bye. Have a nice one. Thanks.